guys, it's Mina, and today in this video I'm going to do my top 10 funniest Disney Channel shows. Now, I actually made this before, but I think I skipped a show, so I'm gonna redo it because I think I skipped the show on my list. So I'm gonna get started. And if you guys have any Disney Channel shows that you find funny, so let me know down in the comments below. And now I'm going to get started. So number one on my list has to be Hannah Montana. Now, a lot of you guys know, if you watch Montana, you know that I do not like Miley Cyrus at all. But I did like it. I have to be honest, I did like her in Hannah Montana, but I never really was a huge, crazy fan of her. Like, I think some people were when she was Hannah Montana, but I only liked her in Hannah Montana. So, yeah, I liked Hannah Montana because I find it really funny because you got Miley Stewart, who's played by Miley Cyrus, who is trying to jumble between her life as a rock star and a normal person, and she doesn't want anyone to know that she's Hannah Montana because she's worried that people will mistreat her if they find out. And and the only people that know about her being Hannah Montana are her two best friends and her dad and brother, and she's constantly like making mistakes, getting in trouble with her friends, and learning about life. Number two on my list would have to be Wizards of Waverly Place. The reason I find Wizards of Waverly Place funny because you got three siblings who are wizards, who are learning wizard lessons from their dad, who used to be a wizard, but he had to give up his powers for love, so he can marry the mom. Mom, just so you know, these kids, oh, never mind, anyway. So he can marry the mom. And, they're practicing their wizarding powers, and they're like wizards in training. And then, the middle child, who is the sister, always uses the spells, but she ends up making mistakes with the spells, so she ends up getting into a ton of trouble, and her brothers end up doing a much better job than she does with her spells. It is pretty funny to watch her mess up and get in trouble with her dad. Number three on my list has to be The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. The reason I find The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody funny is because you got two twins who play around in a hotel and make a bunch of mistakes. They constantly are getting in trouble with the hotel manager, and their mom works as a headliner there. And they're constantly like goofing around with the hotel and messing up like parties, like a wedding, or they mess up like an event that goes on. Just anything terrible, and they always end up getting in trouble, which is pretty funny. Number four on my list would have to be Austin and Ally. I find this show pretty funny because you got a group of two friends who work in a mall, and they always end up getting in trouble when they have suspicious problems going on, like somebody robbing their shop, or somebody who or something bad going on in their mall. It is pretty funny, and they try to fix it. Number five on my list would have to be Lizzie McGuire. I find this show pretty funny because you got a girl who's who's learning about life and curious about everything and what goes on in life, and she'll do whatever it takes, like growing up life, and she wants like the chance to explore and do things, and she's very curious. And she drags her friends along, like they'll try to go sneak into an R-rated movie, and then they end up getting busted, or they end up causing issues, and they try to solve the problem, or they end up being trouble with the main character's sibling, and they have to solve a problem with the main character's sibling. Number six on my list had to be Phil of the Future. I find Phil of the Future funny because this one involves a family that is from the future that gets trapped in the present while time traveling, and they are stuck in the present until they get their time machine fixed, and they're learning ways about about the present while they're teaching the people that live in the present about the future. It's pretty cool. Number 7 on my list would have to be Life with Derek. Now, this is the one I skipped by mistake. Now, I find Life with Derek funny because you got a girl who lives with her sister and her 3 step siblings, along with her stepfather and her mom. And they both, and she has trouble getting along with her stepbrother, but she gets along with her other 2 siblings really well, and her little sister really well. But it's just she and her stepbrother, who are the same age, both seem to argue and fight all the time, and she always ends up getting in trouble along with him half the time. And they both kind of learn how to get along, sort of, even though they're like constantly fighting, and they try their best to, and they kind of ruin each other's lives. It is pretty funny to see them mess up with each other's lives. Number 8 on my list would have to be Phineas and Ferb. I find Phineas and Ferb funny because you got 2 stepbrothers who try to come up with really fun ideas for the day, like they'll build a roller coaster in their backyard or make a pizza parlor in their backyard for money, and their older sister witnesses what's going on, and then she goes and tries to tattle on her brothers, and then by the time she tattles on them and brings the parents see them doing nothing. It is pretty funny. Number 9 on my list would have to be The Replacements. Now, The Replacements I didn't really see that many episodes of, but I have to admit the theme song to that show is pretty funny. So, The Replacements has 2 orphans who are adopted by a super spy and a daredevil. And when they have, like, teachers that are boring or obnoxious or don't really do anything to help them, they call this company called Fleamco, who replaces people that they don't like. And they replace them with things that are lame or terrible, and it kind of reminds me a little of the Fairly Odd Parents, because you know when Timmy Turner wishes for something that he wants good to happen, but then the thing that's good that happens ends up being bad? That's what it reminds me of, because when the siblings replace something that they thought was boring, that with something that they think is good, but then later it ends up being bad and they try to replace it with the old person, it is pretty funny. Number 10 on my list would have to be Good Luck Charlie. Now, I found this show really funny because you got 3 older siblings who have a baby sister, and they're trying to teach her about life and the way it works, and the older sister does video diaries for her sister and teaches her about life and what she does and the way her life goes compared to her life. It is pretty funny because she's a baby, because she doesn't even know what life is about yet. Okay, so those are my top 10 funniest Disney Channel shows. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!